I woke up today and saw that the DayZ Twitter account tweeted that 1.13 Experimental was live. I was not prepared for that at all, so now my day has been spent trying to play and note how the new changes feel. There are tons of changes and fixes as usual, so I will only be talking about the big and the important ones. First is weapons. I didn't find the new M16A2 rifle just yet, but I did want to make a separate video for it anyways. From what I've read and heard, it spawns pretty much anywhere where there is military loot, but I had no luck finding it. It unfortunately does not take any attachments except for the suppressor. Of course, the big thing about the M16A2 is that it can use burst fire, which is brand new to DayZ. There are a bunch of changes I won't get to test, but one of the more combat focused ones is the addition of weapon effects to attachments. Some weapon attachments will affect dispersion, sway, and recoil. This paired with the fact that rifles now only spawn with their default attachments makes it seem that you will have to do a little bit more looting to make your rifles more effective with better attachments. Of course, there is also a 45 round KA mag and a 60 round standardized mag added along with the 6x ATOG hybrid scope with a short range red dot sight on top. And the last thing worth noting is that weapons that spawn with magazines will always spawn with at least one bullet. Second is zombies. Of course, the big thing here is that there are now different types of zombies, including the regulars, the runners, and heavies. I did notice that stealth is much easier with the regular zombies, but it's a little more difficult with other types of zombies because they move around a lot. Just by observing zombies from far away, I noticed a lot of them would do short running animations. This to me makes it seem that runners are going to be very common, but the regular zombies are still there. The few military zombies I did kill did seem a little tougher, but there was a considerable amount of lag at the time. Other zombie changes include the ability to attract them with fireplace lights, smoke grenades, flare gun flares, and explosions. I didn't get to test these unfortunately, but these changes should make getting around zombies a lot easier. The devs also mentioned that there are heavy military and police zombies. Zombies based on their type will also have more or less HP and do more or less damage. With the addition of zombie types, it seems that this update is trying to make zombies a little easier to kill, fight, and stealth overall, but the new heavy zombies will be a challenge. Even the runners are proving to be a bit more challenging, but they are balanced by having less health and doing less damage than the regular zombies. Of course, heavies, soldiers, police, and firefighter zombies are less common, but they are going to be tougher. Third is infection. In regards to the changes, I only know what was provided by the devs. Rags and bandages now have a clean or dirty state and can be disinfected. Using dirty items to cover a wound can lead to an infection. There's a new iodine tincture that can be used to disinfect things. Damaging clean items will cause them to become dirty and will require disinfection. Since zombie types are being expanded, getting injured by them will be more serious than it was before. Keep an eye on your bandages and remember to disinfect them. A small change to influenza was also made, so now it has the fever effect. This will help differentiate it from the common cold, making diagnosing diseases a little easier in-game. Last, I want to give my overall impressions of the update. From reading up on it and experiencing it for a few hours, I get the feeling that this update and maybe other updates in the future will bring more diversification to all the different mechanics and systems in the game. 1.12 added stealth, new food options, and changes to bullet damage. 1.13 added new weapon attachment effects, new zombie types, and new ways to avoid zombies, and changes to player infections. Things are starting to become more complex, which is a good thing. Without complex gameplay, the game is going to get boring, considering the first 3 hours of any new character is always the same. Now fresh spawns have to worry about runners and possibly getting sick from injuries. But they also have stealth as a tool and better food options. In the mid-game, players have gotten 2 new mid-tier rifles in 2 updates that are both beautiful to look at and simple enough to use. In the late game, players now have to find the correct attachments for whatever rifles they are using and have to deal with heavy zombies that are tougher to fight. Overall, I get the impression that the game is heading towards a good place by keeping things interesting and mixing things up with each update. For everyone getting ready to play 1.13 either in experimental or in stable, prepare yourself for runner zombies, use stealth because it is much better on regular zombies, and keep your health in mind. Since there's usually a million small fixes and changes with each update, I will link the changelog in the description below. It's usually good to read since it gives details on bug fixes and changes to the loot economy. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share, and hit the sub bell for future video and stream notifications.